Dear listener, the night had already passed its halfway mark. The moon hung quietly in the sky, casting a soft silver glow upon the world below. Stars shimmered faintly, like tiny lanterns sprinkled across an endless ceiling. And down in the heart of the forest, the whispering woods lay still, as though wrapped in a blanket of dreams. Every tree stood tall and silent, its branches draped in a light layer of dew. In the gentle moonlight, the droplets glistened like pearls, glowing faintly before sliding down to the ground. The forest seemed alive, and yet, it seemed to be falling slowly, peacefully into sleep. A tender breeze wandered through the woods, brushing against the leaves. And as the branches swayed, they whispered softly to one another. Their voices were not words, not sounds of meaning, but a kind of lullaby carried on the wind. Hush now, hush. The night is deep. It is time to rest. From far in the distance came the faint bark of a dog. It was not sharp, not frightening, only a distant reminder of life beyond the trees. The sound echoed once, maybe twice, then faded into the stillness, swallowed by the quiet of the forest. Among the roots and fallen leaves, small creatures were moving. A group of insects crept slowly across the forest floor, searching for food. One paused to nibble on a piece of bark. Another discovered a drop of sap glistening on a tree trunk. For a moment there was movement, a small flurry of activity. But then, one by one, they returned to their hidden homes beneath the soil, curling themselves into rest. Even they seemed to understand, the night was passing and now was the time to sleep. Not far away, beneath the shelter of a wide old tree, a deer settled herself on the ground. She lifted her head, looking left and right, listening for any danger. Then slowly, gently, she lay down. Her fawns pressed close beside her, their tiny bodies warm against her side. Within moments, their eyes fluttered closed, and they were asleep, breathing softly in perfect harmony with the hush of the woods. The forest filled with the chorus of crickets. Their song was steady, rhythmic, endless, yet it was not noise. No, it was like music, a slow, gentle lullaby woven into the very air. The crickets sang for the trees, for the animals, for the earth itself. They sang for sleep. They sang for peace. High in the branches, birds had already folded themselves into their nests. Some rested with wings half open, too drowsy to tuck them in. Others hid beneath the soft feathers of their mothers, small beaks poking through the warmth. Their tiny chests rose and fell, rising with the rhythm of sleep. Moonlight touched the grass below, and every blade held a droplet of dew. Each droplet shimmered like a crystal, glowing faintly, then vanishing back into the night. It was a soft light, never harsh, never demanding. The kind of light that invited your eyes to grow heavy, that asked you to surrender to rest. The air itself carried peace. There was the faint scent of damp earth, the grounding smell of tree bark, and somewhere hidden among the shadows, the delicate perfume of wildflowers. The fragrances mingled together in a way that was subtle, natural, calming, as though the forest was breathing with you, inviting you to exhale, to release, to let go. One of the oldest trees stood with roots deep in the ground, so deep they seemed to touch the heart of the earth. Its branches swayed slightly, as though drowsy, as though the tree itself were slowly drifting toward slumber. Around it, younger trees bent in the wind, their leaves sighing in unison. It was as if the entire forest had agreed, now we rest. From the distance came the low call of an owl. Hoo! It was not sharp, not startling. It was part of the night, soft and rhythmic, an old voice reminding the forest that it too belonged to the night. After a few moments, even the owl's voice faded and the silence became whole again. Then came another sound, the hum of tiny wings. A cluster of night insects gathered, their wings creating a delicate hum. Together, they sang a melody, soft and endless, like the gentle strum of invisible strings. It was as if they were playing a lullaby for the world, urging every creature, every tree, every listener to surrender to rest. Clouds passed across the moon, dimming its glow. Shadows deepened, the forest grew softer, quieter. The light was faint now, like a candle about to fade. The woods seemed to sink further into sleep, every branch, every stone, every leaf joining the slumber. From behind the bushes, a fox appeared. Her paws pressed gently into the soft soil as she searched for something to eat. She sniffed the ground, paced quietly beneath the trees, then paused. Finding nothing, she curled herself beneath the tree. Her body grew still. Her eyes closed. Within minutes, she too was asleep, carried away by the quiet song of the forest. Everywhere, sleep was spreading like a gentle tide. The breeze softened, barely stirring now, as if even the air was tired. The forest sighed deeply, then settled into stillness. If you listen closely, you might hear it. The quiet voices of the woods whispering to you now. It's time. The night is deep. The forest rests. The creatures rest. Even the stars above are growing weary. You too must rest. You too must sleep. The whispering woods grew deeper into silence. Time was moving softly now, each moment dissolving into the next like ripples fading across a pond. The moon climbed higher, steady in the sky, while the world beneath her seemed to grow heavier, softer, slower. In the far-off distance, the faint barking of the dog rose once again. But this time, it was quieter, weaker, like an echo rather than a sound. The forest didn't resist the noise, didn't answer it. It simply received it, cradled it, and hushed it into stillness. After a while, even that voice was gone. A chorus of tiny frogs began to sing from a pool hidden deep in the woods. Their voices were soft, croaking in uneven patterns, yet somehow together they formed a rhythm. Croak, croak. Like a drum played far away, each note slow and steady. But as the night deepened, even the frogs fell quiet, one by one. Their song thinned, softened, then disappeared completely, leaving behind only the endless hush of crickets and the sigh of the wind. Above the trees, the stars shimmered faintly. Some twinkled brightly, others dimmed until they seemed to vanish, like tiny lamps flickering out for the night. Clouds drifted lazily, covering some stars, revealing others. The sky itself seemed to be breathing, in and out, deep and calm, inviting you to do the same. Beneath the roots of a tall oak tree, a family of hedgehogs shuffled slowly out of their burrow. Their little feet made the faintest sounds on the forest floor, like tiny brushes sweeping across a wooden floor. They searched for food, sniffing gently at the moss and leaves. But soon, after finding nothing more than a few seeds, they too curled into themselves, pressing into the warmth of their burrow. Their tiny bodies relaxed, their spines softening as they surrendered to the comfort of sleep. Nearby, a stream flowed gently between stones. Its waters glistened faintly under the moonlight, weaving silver ribbons across the ground. The sound of the stream was soothing, like the whisper of a gentle voice repeating the same word again and again. Rest, rest, rest. The water carried its lullaby down the forest, past trees and moss and soil, until its song dissolved into the night. A gentle hush settled over the woods. Every sound that had once been sharp or restless was now fading. The forest was teaching, through its stillness, that there was no need to hold on to wakefulness anymore. The world had grown tired, and in its tiredness, it was beautiful. Insects continued their soft chorus. Some hummed with tiny wings, vibrating the air with a faint, steady buzz. Others clicked softly, like little wooden sticks tapping together. It was not noise, not distraction. It was a symphony of sleep, each sound blending into another, weaving a tapestry of calm. Their voices said without words, "This night is not for rushing, not for worrying, not for holding tight. This night is for letting go." Every tree seemed to sigh in agreement. Their branches hung low, heavy with dew and sleep. Their trunks stood still, no longer reaching or straining, simply existing, resting, content. If you listened closely enough, you might believe the trees were dreaming, lost in memories of countless nights before this one, countless nights of moonlight and stars. Far above, a gentle wind drifted across the treetops. It was not strong enough to move the branches, only enough to stir the leaves ever so slightly. The leaves answered with a whisper, a sound so soft you might not know if it was real or imagined. It was like a lullaby sung only for those willing to listen, only for those ready to sleep. The night was long, but it no longer felt endless. It felt like a gift, a quiet embrace wrapping itself around you. You could feel it in the air, in the ground, in every breath you took. Everything, every tree, every insect, every sound was guiding you gently toward the same truth: rest. A family of rabbits stirred briefly in their burrow. One lifted its head, ears twitching. For a moment, there was movement, a rustle of grass, a quiet sniff of the air. But then, sensing no danger, the rabbit laid its head back down. One by one, the others followed, their eyes closing, their bodies curling in warmth. In the silence of the earth, they drifted away into the softness of dreams. The night deepened further. The moon, now higher in the sky, seemed calmer, dimmer, as though even she were weary. The stars glowed faintly, then faded again. The world seemed wrapped in a veil of velvet darkness, soft and comforting, like a blanket drawn close. Even the insects who had sung tirelessly began to quiet. Their voices grew slower, more spread out, until their chorus was no longer a song but a single steady breath. The forest had grown almost entirely still, and in that stillness there was a message. A message that came not from one voice, not from one creature, but from everything together. The soil, the trees, the animals, the stars. The night is ending. The world is resting. You too must rest. Imagine, just for a moment, the feeling of the forest pressing gently against you. Not heavy, not demanding, but kind. Like a soft hand resting on your shoulder, like the tender weight of a blanket pulling you toward comfort. It says, "You have done enough. You have thought enough. You have carried enough. Now is the time to let it go." And as you breathe in, you feel the cool air of the forest. Even the stars seem softer now, as though they too are closing their eyes. Everything has gone quiet. Everything has gone still. The forest is asleep. The night is asleep. The world is asleep. And now, it is your turn. There is nothing left to do. There is no reason to resist. Everyone around you, every creature, every leaf, every sound has surrendered to rest. You must follow them. You must let yourself drift. Feel the forest wrapping around you, whispering in the gentlest voice. Sleep now. Sleep peacefully. Sleep until the morning light touches the trees. Sleep until your heart is full again. Sleep because the world sleeps. Sleep because you are safe. Sleep because you are loved. The whispering woods has told its story. The night has sung its song. And now it is time for silence. Close your eyes. Let go. Drift. The forest is waiting. The dream is waiting. Sleep is waiting. Good night.